Give generously of yourself. And sometimes that isn't just in what you say or in the kindnesses you show other people, whether you know them well or they're total strangers. So give generously of yourself. And whatever you choose to do it to the best of your abilities. Don't do it half-baked. Because if you're gonna pick something to do, you wanna do something you love, and really the only way you find out is if you really dive in. Sometimes you're not gonna know for a while what you really love to do. And what you really love to do may change. And it can change several times, whether it's your major in college, what your minor might be, and what else you might be doing, what your career might be ahead of you. But whatever you choose to do, make sure you try to be the very best you personally can be at it. And then listen to that in your own heart and your own mind. Is this really what I love to do? The two go together. Hopefully, we all wish, your parents and all of us wish, that you're gonna find something in life that you love to do and you're gonna get to do it. But you won't find that if you don't try really hard to be the best at what you can do. So I'd strongly encourage you on that one. Get a great breadth of experience. Please do not just pick a path and stay on it. Be willing to hop off from time to time and take some risk. One of the #1 risky things I did was leave a job I had after high school, leave a job I had after college, and get a cut in pay by about half and go work for a member of Congress in a town I didn't know, for someone I had never met before, and it was the best decision I ever made. You gotta be willing to take risks. And part of that is just plunging in and getting a breadth of experience in what you're gonna try. So make sure that you do that, especially in these next few years. You're gonna have an opportunity to take some good classes. You're gonna have an opportunity to take some fun ones. And I encourage you to do both, even if it's way outside your study area. I'm not sure if I'm going against what your parents say, because they're paying for the bills here probably, but be sure you get that breadth of experience and really try to take those risks. And finally, and I think this is perhaps the most important, please be authentic to yourself. Think about one word, if you could describe what you're gonna be, whether it's on a given day or as you're undertaking a project or going somewhere, and just make sure it's authentic. It listens to you. Don't let somebody else define you by limitations, and don't define yourself by whether or not someone's gonna like what you do. This might mean that not everybody's gonna like what you do, but be totally authentic to yourself. It's something that you will find the most rewarding thing for you. And you will love your life so much better if you're not trying to be something other than what you already are and what you want to be. So be completely authentic. 2 more bits of advice, and these are a little bit more lighthearted. The first is to realize that laundry soap is expensive when you're in college. If you can fill your suitcase up with all your dirty laundry and bring it back home, laundry soap is free. So just want you to remember that. Studying all the time and not partying equals good grades. It works that way, but you gotta get a little bit of the partying in. However, not studying and only partying equals bad grades. Bad grades equals probation, and probation means you might pay for college. Is that right, parents? So just keep that one in mind as well. Those are the parental tips that I have to make sure I give my kids. But finally, I'm going to leave you with the same quote that I actually gave at my high school graduation. And when I gave it, a bird flew into the building and landed on the podium and hopped around. So I can't promise any great omens like that. But I do think it's important. This is a quote from William Penn, who in our history had a great contribution to the development of a new society in our country. And I hope you take it to heart. It's this: I expect to pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness or abilities that I can show to any fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not defer it, nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. Hawks, congratulations. You've done a wonderful job, and I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing great things about you. God bless, and congratulations, class of 2015.
Sound advice, absolutely. Thank you very much, Assemblywoman Catherine Baker. I'm very proud I repeat, very proud to introduce our next speaker. He is a 4-year student at LVCP. He also went to our sister school, our K-8 LVCS K-8, so he's the first one to go all the way through. He has worked incredibly hard over the past 4 years to reach this day. After leaving LVCP, he plans to attend Dartmouth. It's an Ivy League school, it's pretty good, I hear. He plans to attend Dartmouth in the fall to begin his studies in applied math. It sounds very difficult. It's pretty hard math, right? Applied math? It's hard. Please welcome our valedictorian, Max Wang. Give him a hand.
Hello, class of 2015. I am so honored to be standing right here. Principal Billy, faculty, teachers, parents, and most especially graduating students, thank you so much for the opportunity to be standing here before you all today. It is genuinely one of the most exciting things I've been asked to do. I have to admit that I've dreamed about being the school's valedictorian since the very first days I stepped into the foot of Portola Elementary School as a freshman at the new Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School. And before I say anything, I just want to thank everyone who has done nothing but support me, especially my two best friends, Hayden and Willie, all those from my office that are here today, and of course Christian, Julio, Jose, and all my boys. Standing here today, 4 years later, however, I now understand how my initial motivations to be valedictorian were misguided. I kept that dream to myself and acted as if that thought never really crossed my mind. I didn't quite understand why I was working toward my own standard of academic success to become valedictorian. The other day, I went to watch my 8-year-old cousin Justin swim at his meet. I remember how focused he was swimming the 50-yard freestyle, glancing to his side to sneak a peek at the competition. Being the overbearing, highly competitive, and failure of a high school swimmer that I am, I skipped 20 steps and I already imagined him in the Olympics with smooth strokes, impeccable technique, and a big, powerful dive. After winning, I watched him rush to pick up his little blue ribbon. Only then did I realize that the prize was more important to him than the race to get it. I, of course, futilely urged him to take joy of the challenge and improvement upon practice, only to be overshadowed by a little blue ribbon. In a child's nature, we see many of our own innate tendencies. I saw myself in him, and perhaps you do too. Prizes serve as false idols everywhere. Prestige, wealth, fame, and power. It's strange how much of a contradiction it seems that this is the very reason why I'm standing before you all today, only to tell you that the fruits of achievement are not always to be trusted. I do, however, think that contradiction can be reconciled, and can be actually insightful. Achievement is wonderful when you know why you're doing it, and a trap when you don't. I spent much of my childhood growing up in the predominantly Asian city of Fremont, California, about a 20-minute drive away. There, all the kids in the neighborhood always brought home perfect STAR test scores, and while your own parents would be really disappointed in you, regardless of how satisfactory you were compared to the national average. Since everybody was a high achiever, I was just known as a kid who liked to play computer games and swim. Only when I moved away in middle school and high school did I really start perceiving my comparative advantage. I would be starting over in how people would view me. I feared to be seen as a nerd or a tryhard, a category I was never really comfortable with growing up. I didn't think I would be able to fit in, be like everyone else, be cool. I had no idea how to declare my own intentions. I didn't even know how to articulate them to myself. I had always been interested and very good at math and science, but the notion of pursuing these as extracurriculars would make me seem, I don't know, socially inept, right? In contrast to my inability to declare myself, on the first day of my freshman orientation, I remember a group of sophomore boys introduced themselves to me as football players. They were cool. Their bearing and self-confidence alone seemed proof of their prophecy. They ran the school, whereas I couldn't shake my own self-doubt. I'm a nerd, and I'm weird. This is how others saw me, and that's how I saw myself. Driven by these insecurities, I took the opportunity at LVCP to do what I probably would have never been able to do at any regular public high school. So rather than continuing competition math and science bowl, freshman fall, I decided to play football too. Joined the soccer team, and I even wound up changing my relationship status on Facebook to in a relationship. Because I was cool, hip, and totally rad. Needless to say, I wasn't cut out for any of those things, as I ended up breaking my fibula and tibia in my left leg, and my Facebook relationship status changed to single and brokenhearted. But as I was fighting my way through physical therapy, I saw my friends in MUN with Miss Daitoku, or creating the yearbook with Mr. Sharman, and building robots with Mr. Gross. I had just the right amount of jealousy to realize that being cool for coolness' sake was its own kind of trophy, an unworthy one to counter some half-imagined argument over who I was. There was a reason why I was an academic to begin with. I love to learn. My peers and mentors here taught me that that was not only an acceptable reason, but the best reason. And when I finally garnered the courage to accept myself, I couldn't wait to tackle new challenges of learning. Studying the workings of government and civic engagement, real-world problem solving in calculus, statistics in baseball, also known as sabermetrics, I worked to embrace my education, improve my understanding of the world, and help others do the same. I had found, or perhaps reclaimed, my reason. You have a prize now, a high school diploma in your hand, but what is your reason behind it? My high school degree and various honors and the privilege of being named this class's valedictorian represents to me courage.